Steven, I'm driving to the studio right now. You're on the bench. And Vanessa Joy is going to be the Steven for the day. We'll see how this goes. Should be good practice for Kenya.
This is Vanessa Joy, everybody. She's filling in for Steven.
Hello.
Let's just say, here, I'll just tell you where Steven is. Steven's at home working. I've put him to work. He is working on the Kickstarter video. I need to get the Kickstarter approved by Kickstarter, so the video needs to be done. And we need to get that page up so I can start promoting it so that we can,
make a living.
Yeah, well, make a living, but also get it to print and see how many people pre-order so that I know exactly how many copies see if my 2,000 guess is the right amount. But also we need to hit timelines. If we don't hit the timelines, it stretches it further into the new year because the stuff has to get on a boat. They have to print it in Italy. It has to get on a boat. Takes 3 to 4 weeks to get here. Hopefully it doesn't fall into the ocean. And then it has to get to my door. And then I got to do all the work. So that's where Steven is. That's why Vanessa is Steven today.
I feel very honored that I get texts from you like, hey, come hang out, especially after I insult your presets in the previous podcast.
By doing that, you're insulting Steven.
Well, I would never do that.
You did do that already, and he was insulted.
I'm sorry, Steven. So I just mean to insult you. I mean, that's how we first ever got along, as I did that publicly.
Did you?
Yeah, at Inspire when we were on a panel. And I told you weren't a photographer.
Yeah, well, look at me now, Vanessa. Look at you now. Oh, who followed in Jared's footsteps? Oh, I can make money online? Oh, are you really a photographer if your primary income comes from online and you don't actually shoot real things? Yeah, Vanessa.
We'll get into that later, Jared. Don't worry.
Oh, we're getting into that today?
Well, it was on your topic list about wedding trends. So that's...
All right, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But one of the other reasons I'm having Vanessa on today is it's good practice. I like practicing on Vanessa because it's good practice for Kenya when we go to Kenya. Man.
I started taking my first pill this week.
What pill?
The typhoid vaccine.
Oh, you started taking typhoid.
Yeah, so you can get it in a pill. You don't have to have the shot.
Yeah, 5 years you get for typhoid. Mm-hmm. I need to go. I haven't done that one yet. I still haven't done I didn't do typhoid last year when I went.
Oh, really?
No, I did yellow fever.
I did yellow fever when I was in Brazil, so I'm good on that. You only need that once.
Yeah, you get your malaria pills.
Malaria, I start in a couple weeks.
The pink pill. Well, you don't start that till 2 days before you go.
2 weeks, Jared.
2 days.
2 weeks.
It's not 2 weeks. It's 2 days.
It's 2 weeks. You better go check that. You're supposed to take it once a week, 2 weeks. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a different kind of
mine's daily
vaccine.
Yeah, you want me to go get it here? You talk for 1 minute. I'm going to check the medicine cabinet at the studio.
Really? You're going to leave me by myself? All right. This is Joy Knows Photo. JoyKnowsPhoto.com. Oh, great. He's back.
Are you promoting yourself?
No.
Are you promoting yourself? All right.
No, never.
I won't hear it. So I have my drugs right here. Prescriptions. What is this?
Okay, wait. Hold that up again, because that's a different name.
No, this is the pink pill, I think. Take 1 tablet by mouth
that's
daily.
That's a Pepto-Bismol. That's not your.
No, I know. This
fever.
Is the pink pill. I needed the pink pill last year. It saved my life. Yeah. It hit me, not everybody else. Okay.
I do not want to listen to you having diarrhea on this trip, please, Jared.
Whatever, Vanessa.
What's that one?
That's is atovaquone proguanil.
I can't say words of prescriptions. Like I'm always like, the one that starts with the A, that one.
Yeah, this is atovaquone proguanil. Proguanil. Anal.
Okay, let me pull up on my...
Please see attached details. All right, I'm seeing attached details. All right, hold on. Take 1 daily, start 1 to 2 days prior to entering a malaria endemic area. Continue throughout the stay and for 7 days after returning. That's what my drugs say.
I feel like mine was weeks, but now I have to look because now I'm concerned.
You should be concerned. You'd be taking all your malaria pills way before you need them.
Well, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I have been failing just a little bit lately at life.
Life?
I just have been doing too much this year, and I really thought I wouldn't because it's the wedding gap year, so everyone has less weddings this year. And I'm like, I think I overcompensated because I thought I wouldn't make any money this year because there's so much less weddings. So I just booked my calendar with all this other crap, and now
because you're not a real photographer, right?
No, because I'm a photographer first and then a YouTuber. I'm not.
Wrong.
I always hate. No, not wrong, because I hate when I listen to people who educate about photography and they're not even in the same game, right? Like, you can't tell me how to run a business that serves consumers because you don't run a business that serves consumers. You want to tell me how to run my YouTube? Go for it. I'll listen to you. You want to tell me how to work with brands? Go for it. I will absolutely listen to you. You cannot tell me how to work with today's consumer, especially today's couple.
What
bride.
age group? What are they? Xennials? Are they millennials?
25 to 32 is like the average age of my client right now.
So is that a younger millennial? Because I looked this up the other day because I wanted to know what's after Xennial is Generation Alpha. So let's see. Millennial ages, which is, it usually says 1981. What age is millennial? 25 to 40 years old.
Yeah.
They're currently 20.
That's not the same though. Like 40-year-olds are not thinking the same as 25-year-olds.
I
agree. Million years.
I cannot sleep with a 25-year-old anymore. It just
good for you.
Sorry, they're just I can't. It's just you can't have a conversation.
That's true.
I say that, but there are some
conversations.
Examples. Sorry.
Well, I just can't stand conversations that talk like this.
Keep going, Vanessa. This is working for me. Keep going.
Is it? No, it can't work for you. I'll pull out my Jersey. My Jersey accent will work for you. You're from Philly. That's like exotic for you.
I'm walking here.
Can I get a glass of water? I can't stand all these people. There's always something going on. Oh my God, your dress is so stunning.
All right. Go back to 25-year-old millennial person, please.
25-year-old.
Like,
I think
I'm a dinkwad. Do you know what a dinkwad is?
Totally different prescription than you. I have Melfloquine.
It doesn't have anal in it?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what that one is. But can we move on from your drugs and you can check on that later?
Oh gosh, now I'm worried. I don't want to be having diarrhea in front of you either in Africa.
But that's not what this is for. This is for malaria.
Oh, I don't want to be dying in front of you either. Like, I don't know. How are you in a foxhole exactly?
I don't know. I mean, I am scared of the lion that got close to the car. So I was like, can we go now? It got too close to me.
Are you serious?
The lion rubbed the back of the vehicle and he had big balls too.
I'm not going to lie. I would probably have like a dumb moment where I'd be like, can I pet it?
Just don't hang anything out of the vehicle because they
like
are
my hand.
They are cats. They are cats. They will go play with. They will attack things. So don't do that. So
now, if it attacked you, tell me the truth. Would you throw the camera to me for safety, or would you use it as a weapon?
I'd probably need the monopod. I don't know. One, if it attacked you, it's going for your neck and you're fucked. Two, it has claws and you're fucked. And,
so you would just fetal position it.
If you're using a Sony, that camera's not going to damage anything because it's a piece of plastic.
You'll be happy to know I got my confirmation. I will have the R1.
Oh, is that what you're taking?
I keep going back and forth. So
talk to me because I know what to do. I've been there before. Let me mansplain it to you.
No, don't mansplain it because again, I am the queen of packing gear. I travel 120 days with my gear. Like I know. But so here's my big thing. I really want to take the R1 and the R5 Mark II, but they both take separate batteries. And I would much rather have less batteries in one battery charger than multiple types of batteries and two battery chargers. Like, to me, that takes up more space, but I guess not as much more space as the fact that if I take my R3 instead of the R5 II, like the vertical grip.
I have the answer, Vanessa.
I'm only taking two bodies, so you gotta stay in that answer.
R5
okay,
Mark II, R1. You charge with USB-C chargers, the charging bricks. You literally take a laptop charger in the charging tent, you plug into that. You take another Anker. I have the Anker charger, the 100 watter. You plug a USB-C into the side of your R1, charges that battery, and with the grip with the R5 II, you're charging both of those batteries without even worrying about the charger so much. I'm still going to pack a charger.
I don't want to bring the grip for the R5 II.
You want to take the grip. Don't be a loser.
Why? I don't want to take the grip.
You put 2 batteries in there. And when you shoot vertical, you shoot like a human being, not like a moron.
Oh my God.
I'm right,
you know, were all film photographers morons, Jared? Because
they
all
had
film
grips.
photographers, they didn't have
They had grips. They used pro cameras. 1D Mark IV or 1D Vs or whatever they were called. I had
I'm talking back in like Canon F1, AE1 days, you know, before your time.
1980. You had the F3 Nikon. You had the grip for it because it was a power winder. You always used a grip, Vanessa. Get a grip.
No.
So don't bring your grip. I don't care what you do.
You know what? I'm going to not bring my grip. I'm going to shoot vertical. I'm going to make sure my armpit is right next to your nose. That's what's going to happen because I'm sure there's not running water in all of the campsites we're going to.
There's running water in the camps we're going to. We have a bucket shower. We got a bucket shower.
That's not running water.
They put heated water up into this vat and you get 3 minutes.
3 minutes. You turn it on and off?
Yeah, you turn it on and off. But it's 3 minutes if you run continually. But if you have 2 people in the tent, you got to share it. But they will refill it. Like if you need more water, they'll put a second bucket. And you're a girl, so I don't know how girls act on these trips.
Well, it's just the hair. I'll bring a lot of dry shampoo so I don't suck up water.
Well, yeah, you and Katie are probably rooming together because, you know, you're girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, I just discovered Mandy's coming on this trip. I didn't know that until I got that email from Matt.
You didn't know that Manny was coming?
No, you told me. You're like, hey, I'm going, Katie's going, and some baseball player. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt, I asked Manny.
That's so nice. Matt asked if
it's an influencer
about
trip.
Portraits. Now it is. Who else is coming?
My buddy Troy, who's fun.
Okay. I met Troy.
You did?
At something, I feel like I met Troy. We had pizza, maybe.
Oh, yeah. When we had pizza, you met Troy. Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I think you did. But yeah, so Vanessa, you, me, my Katie, Troy, Manny, Matt from the Cubs team photographer, the Royals team photographer. There's baseball player and someone else he's coming with. We have somebody else coming, and that's like it.
What, are they secrets? Is that why you're saying?
I don't share
else?
the baseball players' information until later.
Okay. Gotcha. We don't need people chasing them down in the safari.
It's not mystery man this year.
Here's the thing with the gear though. So R1 and R5 II. Now, again, I'm trying to be very minimal. I will probably just like spider holster both of them so I can quick grab. But because the 45 megapixels, do I want to stick the 100 to 300? If you say crop,
I will fucking punch you in the face.
No, I didn't say crop. I said, do I want, because it is 45 megapixels, do I want to stick the long lens on there primarily or the R1?
What are your lens choices? What are you packing?
I am bringing the 1-300 f2.8 along with my 2x extender. And that's my long. Don't shake your head at me. I love that lens wholeheartedly.
No, the lens is great. I'm not shaking my head at the lens because that's what I'm taking, but it's the 2x extender because I say this all the time.
F4?
Well,
oh no, F4.
That's fine, but unless
at 300, no less.
Yeah, if you only zoom out to 300, now you're at 600 millimeters, which is overkill for most of the stuff we're doing because we're in conservancies, we can get off-roading and we can get closer than other people can get.
So if you think I have a 1.4 extender too, you think that's better than the 2x extender?
Well, 1.4 gives
600 is overkill?
So last year I used the 400 2.8 and the 100 to 300. I used an 85 1.2 to photograph the elephants at 1.2. Beautiful with Kilimanjaro in the background. I took the 10 to 20 to use in an airplane. I had the 24. I had way too much because the 24 to 105.
Yeah, and I'm already overwhelmed.
Well, the 24 to 105
to 70 is my other lens.
Well, that's perfect. 28 to 70.
2 lenses.
28 to 70, 100 to 300, and 400 2.8. Awesome.
See, I would just rather have an extender instead of that 400 2.8 extra big ass lens
Yeah,
because I'm also being annoying, and I know you'll probably yell at me, but I am not bringing sticks. I cannot stand to shoot on sticks. It drives me absolutely up a wall.
Yeah, I don't think, thinking back to the vehicle, I got to watch my my video again, but I think I handheld everything for the times that we were shooting. I handheld the 400, I handheld the 1-3, because what I did in the back bench where I sat, I had the 1-3 next to me, I had the 400 and the camera already on the ground. My concern with you taking an extender is you're either going to have it on or you're going to have it off. If you try to switch to it, you're going to miss what you need. So I liked having both.
And again, but if I, don't have the extender on and I have my long lens on the R5 Mark II, I can always just internally 1.6 crop real quick.
Get the fuck out of here with your internally 1x crop.
But
At
this
that
is
point,
how
you shouldn't
we
even
function.
internally do it. You should just do it later. Don't even worry about the 1.6.
No, I don't like to post-process later. Post-processing later sucks. I want less to do.
Yeah, but you have to tweak every file anyway.
No, I don't.
You're not going to edit your raw files?
I will edit my favorite ones.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you edit every single raw file.
But
Anyway.
honestly, and the answer is no, because I will shoot RAW plus JPEG, and probably, especially since we're not going to have a chance, I don't know, to sit down and edit RAW files.
Wait, what's
I'll
that?
Throw some.
Excuse me, what's that? Vanessa isn't going on the trip anymore? Oh, is that what you're saying? She's shooting JPEG? Yeah. I'm sorry. We just got a call from Kenya. You are off the trip. You are not.
I
going to Kenya.
Wi-Fi JPEG previews to my phone and edit them and post them.
Oh, cool.
And
Good
I'm
for
shooting
you.
in RAW, but sometimes I want to post right away, and I just do JPEGs to my phone because it's faster.
Okay. That's to
Although-
me, I don't care about doing that. We're sharing. I'm not looking to share right away.
I do have my Lexar card reader, the one that goes like right into your phone. So
Are you trying to plug a brand you're an ambassador of right now?
No, but I'm bringing it because then I don't have to Wi-Fi it, and then I could just use the raw images to edit because it's faster.
Yeah. Are you bringing your laptop? I'm hoping.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm bringing.
You kind of have to.
Yeah. No, I bring the laptop. I have multiple external SSDs. I have the new ProGrade Digital 8 terabyte one, the $1,400 one. So that's super fast. I'll be backing
Why
up
multiple? Just to back up?
Oh shit, dude. Yeah. Last year I had the SanDisk ones that everybody was having failures with, right? The 4 terabyte SSDs. I had 2 of those, and I bought 2 of the Samsung 4 terabytes. And I just saved everything on all of them just because. Just because. I'm
smart.
like, I'd rather be safe than sorry. We have
Do you
time.
blank your cards?
No, actually, being that I have like 512s and whatever, and I get with the R1, I mean, you're going to get like 15,000 pictures on a
million.
card like that. The R5 Mark II is a little different because of the file size, and I'll be shooting pre-capture.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's the perfect time for that.
any other gear questions while we're on this topic before we switch to the
I don't
next
think
topic?
so. What I'm really hoping is, have you seen the Workflow Go announcement?
What's Workflow Go? Is this another
Lex-
company that's paying you money?
They are paying me money, but not to talk about this. Do you remember Narbox back in the day?
Yeah, the Narbox, yes.
Yeah. I use Narbox constantly to back up, to grab my second shooter's photos and things like that. But it doesn't work. It doesn't function anymore. And there's no support. Like they just fell
they're out
off
of
the
business.
face of the planet. Yeah. So Lexar is coming out with something like kind of similar. I'm just hoping is available.
Do you know what the best solution? They've tried these for years. Epson had one way back in the day where you would offload with a compact flash card. The best
LaCie
solution.
had one and it just failed constantly. It was awful.
And I rather not put my card into something that I can't see that it's transferring. I know there's a thing on the screen. I rather break out a 14-inch MacBook Pro if you want to really do anything and plug into that with a fast ass card reader from ProGrade or whatever and offload that through Thunderbolt. I rather carry that thing around than anything else, personally.
Yeah, and it's not that much light. Like it's not that heavy. I have a 13-inch and I carry it everywhere.
Yeah, I'm
just trying to be light and not pack too many clothes.
I'm not packing any clothes this year. I wore the same pants for 2 weeks anyway. last year.
I heard you wore purple. Way to blend in.
First off, I wear purple underneath my my button-down beige Patagonia long sleeve shirt, which has patches on it. So I wear that on top. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with wearing purple underneath.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I bought a ton of new clothes. I have to like try on, make sure I like them. Hiking boots.
Bought the same thing, right? I have the same pair of pants, like the specific pants I bought 3 of, and I'm not bringing 3. I'll bring 2 pairs of those. I'll bring like 5 or 6 shirts. That's it. I'll rewear them. I don't care. And I'll wear only 2 button-down shirts. That's it. And underwears.
And layer.
And
Because it's cold.
it's not cold.
In the mornings. Don't we leave like early in the morning?
We will be leaving way before sunrise to get out onto the plains before the sun comes up to try and get those sunrise shots. Maybe just a light coat, but as soon as the sun hits, you're up into the 60s, 70s, and then 80s throughout the day.
Okay.
At night, it could be...
Anything below 80 is cold to me. So.
Oh, well, you're a little pansy. Can I say pansies
my
these
Texan
days?
skin.
You've been in Texas for a whole year.
Yeah, whole year. Actually, it'll be 3.
Already?
What else do you want to talk about? Are you excited? I'm getting excited. I started taking my medication for Africa. I'm like, I'm excited. I can get there.
Start taking them. Yeah, I got a call about the typhoid. I might go get that pill. I have to go do that. I should just go do it Thursday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got to see if they can take me because I also didn't get my second Hep A shot. I didn't get because I got my first Hep A last year. You have kids, so you probably have the Hep A already.
They make you get it. One of the things when you're pregnant.
I never did because I didn't make anybody pregnant, so I don't have to worry about that. So we're ready for the trip, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get there again and see what we captured. I mean, this time I got the R1, R5 Mark II. I'm taking 100 to 300 and the 400. I will take the 28 to 70, most likely this time, and an 85. I don't think I'll use the 135. There's compromises to be had. The 100 to 300 is fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It is.
But the lens that I used the most was the 400. If I look at my keepers, even at a distance, the 400 was beautiful for showing the scene. Just beautiful.
You're kind of convincing me to maybe bring my 85. I do love that lens.
Throw the 85 in because if you're going to do portraits, but if we get close to elephants, we get close to other animals, the 1.2 is just
beautiful.
I know people are like, why do you have to shoot everything at 1.2? I'm like, because it looks fucking great.
Exactly.
That's why. And you can still see the background. All right, you want to move on to the next thing?
Okay.
And you need to check on your malaria pills after the show.
Yeah, I'll make a note.
I want to talk about this airplane guy story that you shared the other day that we disagreed on.
Yeah, we did disagree. Although I refused to comment publicly. You're like tagging me. Like,
I didn't tag you. I just replied to you.
Oh, did you? I thought
yes, I replied
you
to
talked
you.
At me a little. I don't
Yeah, well, so here's the situation. You want to why don't you give the situation?
So, and someone posted this story. I don't know the guy. Somebody posted it.
I thought you knew the guy.
No. Someone posted it on Facebook or something, and I saw it, and it just like my heart broke in 1,000 pieces because this guy said that he was forced to check his carry-on, and we'll get into that in a second because I know that's like where your hard stop is, but forced to check his carry-on where he had his gear, and then he goes to baggage claim to pick it up. And not only, it's not like it's just damaged and bumped around, it is a Pelican case that was unbuckled, and then there's a zipper insert in the middle of this case, and it was unzippered, and his gear is just strewn about this baggage claim. And he's just like, this sucks. But then on top of it, American Airlines is like, yeah, sucks to be you. And they just don't make any reprimands, which to me, it's like, I own a business. And does my contract say something? Yes, it does. But if something that horrific happens to a client of mine, how am I not going to try to make it right instead of just like giving the middle finger? And I feel like so many airlines these days constantly just give the middle finger, and they're just like, oh, I don't care. I'll kick you off a plane because you're wearing a crop top. Like, did you see that one? And too many people on power trips who just don't care about humans, much less their customers. Anyway, so that's the story. That's what it was. And I know your hard stop was like, oh, you can't force me to check a bag, or if they check the bag, well, I'll let you tell me all the things that are wrong.
There's a couple things here. You took to social media to say you will never fly American Airlines ever. Now, that's a little harsh
because I'm a United 1K, so of course I'm not flying.
Yeah, but out of Philly, I'm American Airlines out of Philly because that's the hub. And I have status and it helps me get my shit on board. It doesn't help me all the time at the gates because some gate agents are just fucks, to put it bluntly. But to take a step back at what might not be American Airlines' fault is baggage handlers, right? When it's going on the conveyor belt, if TSA opened up the box to check what was in it and didn't zipper it and close it properly, there's
100%.
that potential. But back to they forced me to check my bag. The answer to that is no. It's no. I get it. You got to get home. I faced an issue recently coming out of back through where the hell Phoenix, where the gate agents were on a trip. Now they are American Airlines, but they are not, like, the gate agents are separate. They are separate, and yes, they're the face and the representative. So there should be better handling of situations.
I have plenty of people that are contractors for me, and if they do something wrong, that's still on me.
Oh, I understand. I agree. And I was really pissed at these gate agents because they were on a power trip. I know what I'm able to do, and I had no recourse. When the fucking gate agent stands there and says, I'm like, what would you like me to, I said, what would you like me to do with my bag? He's like, you could ship it home. And I'm like, how is that helpful while I stand here boarding this plane? How is that helpful for you to say right now?
They don't care. And that's what's so annoying. They put you in these situations where you feel like you're just bullied. And I've been there too, where out coming home from Mexico. I was shooting a wedding in Mexico, coming home and the gate, and I had carried that bag onto the plane when I went there. And I know all the carry-on regulations and rules, but you just get into this situation where they're yelling at you. They're trying to like strong arm you, and it's intimidating. And yeah, do I look back and think all the things I could have done? Because they did force me to check my bag. And their main reasoning at the time, because they were just pulling things out of their ass. They were just like, oh, well, you can't have that many AA batteries, which is baloney. Like, you absolutely can.
Bullshit.
And I should have just pulled my batteries out. I mean, they were rechargeables, but what to do? I've been like, okay, here you go. Throw these in the garbage, and I'm walking on the plane. And I mean, I think back 100 times to that scenario and what I could have done or should have done. But when you're in it, when like you have this line of people behind you, you have this person that's telling you can't get on the flight that you need to get on for whatever reason, like, it's like scare tactics, and you maybe don't think logically.
So I've been in the situation numerous times with smaller planes, knowing that potentially that they're going to try and tell me my bag can't fit, and I know my bag fits. There's things that I've done
overhead in those.
Well, but I know that my bag fits in that overhead, right? Like, I know for a fact, and because I've done it on those specific planes, I've done my research to make sure that it works. And so I've run into these situations where they're like, you have to check this. And I'm like, one, look at my bag. I open it up. I'm like, this is $50,000 in camera gear and lithium ion batteries, which are not checkable. Okay, so that's one. And I will either try to get flight attendants that are walking up, or a pilot or something, if they're there, to try and be like, this is fine. Look, this meets our rules for bringing on board.
You mean you try to catch them like when they're boarding, not when you're boarding?
100%.
That's smart. That's 100%. A really smart thing to do.
100%.
Because they're usually perfectly nice. And there's like their hidden compartment that they put stuff in.
100%. I will focus on that. I try to go through as many scenarios beforehand as possible. Another scenario with the guy on the small plane was like, I carry my shoulder bag is slid into the front of my airport, my roller bag, so that if they say you can't bring a roller on board, which was the case here, which they were wrong about, I switch into that shoulder bag. Now, if I don't have a shoulder bag, go grab a trash bag, go grab a plastic bag at one of the Hudson newsstands, put all of your gear in it that you are not checking, and you take that onto the fucking airplane with you. And you either put it up above or you hold it in your lap. And I don't care, when the flight attendant comes along, you're like, look, this is all my camera gear. I'm going to hold it. And if they tell you to put it up above or under the seat, you wrap it up, you put it under the seat. It goes with you. You need to have all of these and I'm not blaming this guy. They cannot force you to check your bag. You have the ability to come up with other solutions. And yes, it is scary because you don't want to miss your flight. Sometimes if I'm on my way home, it's not as big of a deal. I ended up checking, like when they were like, you have to check your tripod. I was like, you're wrong. And they literally just put a piece of tape around my tripod with the gate check thing and refused to let me take it down because they didn't trust me because I would have taken it right on the plane. 2, I said to the flight attendant when I got on the plane, I'm like, hi, is there any way you could ask the gate agents for the bags that they told me that for the tripod that they forcing me to check because they're wrong, that you could just ask them for it and it can go right there. And she's like, I will ask. She called up. They told her no. So you want to talk about being the C word and being conniving fucks.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, they were being vindictive fucks. And so sometimes you just deal with it. But with the camera gear, have a solution already in mind. I like that idea, like you said, with the roller and like you just stick a thin bag. I have my think tank, and that's your plan B. I love that idea. Yeah, that's my plan. My plan C is a trash bag. Go over to their trash bag. Hey, do you have a trash bag, gate agent? Like you guys always have something plastic. Put your shit in the plastic bag. Carry it with the handle with your hand underneath so it doesn't break. Hand them your fucking empty bag and say, go ahead and check this, because you can't check lithium-ion batteries.
Yeah.
And you're not going to check your $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 worth of gear because it's your livelihood and you're on your way to a shoot. And they're only responsible for like $3,300 worth of damage in their contract.
If they even do that. But that was the thing that bothered me about this story, is that American Airlines was just like, oh, screw you. And whether it was their responsibility, TSA, whoever, like, why are we not treating our customers better than that?
I'd go to Pete Buttigieg.
What?
I'd go to Pete Buttigieg.
Well, that's an option, I guess.
He's the head of travel or whatever the hell it's called, and I just saw they passed down a $50 million fine against American Airlines, I believe. I could be wrong, for mishandling a handicapped passenger.
Oh wow!
Making them feel, just not like a human for what they did, and so I mean that's a thing, but really. Tempers are high, or everything. Emotions are high when you fly these days in general, because everybody's on edge. And when you get gate agents, like out of Philly, usually not a problem. It's other places
that's a great airport.
No, it's voted the worst airport in all of America, and we'll take it because it's really not the worst airport.
It really is not.
It's LAX. Totally fine. So do I feel bad? Oh, I haven't been there. Do I feel bad about this guy's gear? 100%. But last resort. Like, I'm taking out my bodies, I'm taking out my lenses, they're coming on board, and I know you're like, well, they won't let you handhold it. I'm like, yeah, plastic bag. Yeah, everybody go get a really nice plastic bag with handles and just fold it up and put it in your camera bag now, because if you ever run into an issue, you do that. And if it's, I don't care that there's people behind me waiting in line. I don't care. It's about my camera gear.
Yeah.
That's more important than someone worrying about me, I will take my time. Fine, I'll hold up the line. That's fine. You making me do this? I'll hold up the line. It is what it is. You're not allowing me to do what I know I should be doing. So I have to change bags right now. So I preemptively go up there and try to make sure everything's fine. And then if it's going to be an issue, I've gone through this process of here's how I'm going to handle it if I need to. And the last resort is you don't get on the airplane.
I'm glad that you had some sympathy for him, or empathy in this case, because that's what, when you responded, I'm like, do you not care at all about this poor guy who just like had his heart shattered all over the baggage claim?
Right. I do. But I also need to pass along the information of that wasn't your choice. When you say you were forced, you were not forced. They said that you have to do this, but that doesn't mean there are ways around it. Like one, not getting on the plane, which sucks, and having to be put on a different plane. But they can't force you to check this bag. They can yell at you. You can try to get supervisors. They can be assholes, and they'll be like, "You've been kicked off." It sucks. It's a shitty situation if you run into the wrong person who doesn't care and wants to just be a power tripped fuck.
Yeah, there's so many of them these days too.
You want to move on to .org to the next one?
To .org.
No, that's just moveon.org. Let's see. What should we talk about? Should we talk about this film discussion? Or
I just posted film photos on my Instagram right before we got on this call.
Oh,
So
good.
I feel like that's
hipster.
appropriate.
Great, Vanessa.
Not a hipster.
Yeah, you're a hip. Look at those bangs. They're not hipster bangs.
No,
you don't look like
definitely not.
a patchouli oil wearing smelling person.
No.
That is the worst smell ever.
Put your oil?
Patchouli oil? You know what that smells like, right?
I
It's
don't
like
think
skunk.
I do.
Yeah,
Ew.
Dan. Oh, Dan's not here. Dan's not here, but that's what Dan smells like because that's what he wears.
Oh, no. Is there a health reason behind that? Is this a crunchy granola thing I'm not aware of?
What's crunchy granola?
Like super hippie, earthy
People?
vibes. People.
No.
Yeah. Crunchy
well,
granola.
yeah, partly. I don't even know. Oh, okay. I get that. So let's talk about this. It involves the expired film club guy.
Which
on
I did not know about until today when I got your show
TikTok,
notes.
Instagram. People constantly send it to me because I was shooting 4x5 this year, so they're always sending me the expired film club thing.
Yes.
What this guy has created is fantastic. He goes around, he shoots sports with expired film, not even really expired film, but it's mostly old cameras, 120-year-old cameras, sometimes 40-year-old cameras, but it all is around shooting film. Build a nice following through TikTok because you can build a nice following there. Does not have a big following through to YouTube because it doesn't translate. Views do not translate the same, and views are more valuable on YouTube. They are far more valuable on YouTube than they are on TikTok. Now you can build a following on TikTok, which he's done, and he's built a following on Instagram, like 600,000 plus on Instagram. I think it's like 2 million throughout, which 1 million on TikTok is really not 1 million anything because it's like not. They don't serve people the same way as YouTube, where 1 million there is actual, bigger in my opinion. Not downplaying it, but I just want to preface
for another time.
I just wanted to preface that he's built an amazing thing. Started
Yes.
during the pandemic when he just wanted something to do, created it. Awesome branding, awesome marketing, being flown around the world shooting sports. He did the Yankees, and lately he did the Jets.
Yeah, I just saw the Jets.
That's what I want to talk about. What he did at the Jets, and the Jets PR social media team brought him in. I'm sure just like the Yankees brought him in, where he's going to make social media content. And the idea here was, being that it was a throwback jersey day, he was going to use a Canon camera from the 90s, which was like a EOS 1V, which was their sports camera that shot 15 frames a second, potentially. It was a fast camera.
That's really fast, for film.
And the goal was he's going to shoot 800 speed film, but at halftime, he's going to hand it over to his guy who's going to develop it in the bathroom, and then they're going to scan it with a digital camera and deliver it before the end of the game. And I sit there and I go, whoop-de-doo. Like, that whole concept. Go ahead, Vanessa.
But what you miss, regardless of, the quality of work or anything like that, is he is finding a way to surprise and delight, which is like marketing 101, relationships 101, surprise and delight. This is why I do same day edits, both on iPad and printed albums to all of my clients the night of their wedding. I hand them a printed album. It is the wow factor that makes people remember you in a completely oversaturated photography world, or just visual world overall. And it's the thing that exceeds expectations and keeps your clients happy. And especially in the corporate world, coming back to you, doing something that's outside of the box, especially for film, right? Because film equals waiting for developing, but then being able to do it instantly is kind of amazing. It's a surprise and delight moment.
Yeah. So in the sports world, back in the day, in the film days, they literally had E6 processing machines for slides in the stadiums, right? Getty, Bruce Bennett had his own machines at the stadiums. And so between periods, they would load the film, run it through the processor so that either an assistant could get them scanned and sent on the wire out into the world. That was a thing. I just didn't find that to be that impressive. To me, it's not impressive.
It is, though, for people who don't understand what you just said.
Yes, I get that. For the plebs or whatever the fuck they're called on TikTok, the kids that think it's the coolest thing. The photos unfortunately weren't that great of action sport photos. But just the blowing up of like, I shot a roll of film and we got it developed during halftime and then we scanned it. It's just like, to me, that aspect was, it's cool that he's doing this. Like, that's why I prefaced the whole thing with, he's built an incredible thing. This is not a slight on him, because it's amazing that he's getting this. And it's also not me being like, no one's calling me to shoot 4x5 at these things, when actually they are, but I'm not doing every step of the way on Instagram or on TikTok just in short form. Like, I'm just not.
But those are the things that add up to all those views, or add up to, I don't know, him just being something different. Like, all of us as photographers, you have to find a way to be different, because when it comes to the consumer, they don't know the difference between good and great photography, right? Like, they can't visually understand the difference between good and great. Bad and good, bad and great, yeah, but good and great, no. And there's a lot of good and great photographers out there, and the only way they're going to be noticed, and the only way they're going to be differentiated from the rest of the noise, is to do something kitschy. That's surprise and delight. Like, that is how you become a successful photographer, arguably, over another photographer that's as good or better than you are.
That's all valid and good, correct, or good points.
Yeah.
I, again, not downplaying what the guy's done. It's more the reaction to it from photo news sites being like, this is incredible. It's like, well, no, it's not. It's cool, and it's a cool project, but it's not the most incredible thing ever since sliced bread that took a roll of film and then scanned it and sent it out into the world digitally as if it's that big of a deal. So that part, what I do like that he's doing is he's selling presets. He's selling courses on
He's capturing
on
his
film.
audience.
Exactly. From a branding marketing side. That's why I prefaced the whole thing first with, this is great. Not downplaying that at all.
And he's selling prints, which I really liked.
Well, that is a questionable thing. In the sports world, what are
because
you
of
allowed
who's
to
in it?
sell?
Yeah.
Right. And there is a picture of from the Yankees, and it's like Major League Baseball has these restrictions. What can you do? What can't you do? I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. I tried to work with Major League Baseball to shoot that Rickwood game, which was a game at the 1917 or the 1907 or 19 whatever stadium this year. It was in Alabama, and it didn't end up happening with me going down there to shoot old school. But I will say that a lot of the discussions that the social media people have is like, oh, how quickly can you develop these so that we can share it? I'm like, well, see, that's defeating most of the purpose of what I'm doing. I would shoot the 4x5, and then, I'd come home at the end of the day and I'd process the negatives so that I can scan them in the morning to share with the people, the players, or to see that I did something right. But to be like, well, how quickly can you get these? Because it's all important to get it out on social media. I'm like, see, what you should be thinking of is, how do we take our time to do it right and put out something better that's longer lasting and not fleeting? Because a lot of what social media is, and TikTok is, how can we shock and delight, and then shock and delight 7,800 more times, because that's all you're going for, those dopamine hits.
That is all they're going for. But again, their audience on Instagram, it's not about how perfect it is, because they don't know the difference between perfect and a little bit less perfect. They know done, right? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and photographically probably wrong, but that's just their mindset. They're not photographers. I assume the social media handlers that are asking you this. Yeah.
But all they want is like, how quickly can we get it out into the world? Because we need to get those impressions. And all they do, it's like, when you deal with corporate, they literally sit there and they have someone who tracks, not someone, there's apps and there's businesses that say how many impressions they got. Meaning, how many times did this show up? And it's like, impressions don't mean shit. That means it was shown 8 fucking million times. That doesn't mean it was engaged with 8 million times and actually moved the needle. And that's where this wellness factor kind of loses it, is when people in the corporate world are just chasing impressions and not actual results. Where, to your point of the prints, if this guy is selling prints, getting people to sign up for his work, if he's going to do workshops, if he's selling presets, that's good. So if he's converting it, which it looks like he is, into something, then he is already doing a great job, because he's being brought all over the place to do this stuff.
Right. I mean, how else are they supposed to measure? I mean, they measure it by some sort of ROI. They have to have a KPI, like some impressions, or, when we deal with corporate for YouTube sponsors, some of them just want to see a bunch of impressions. They want to see that the video has, I don't know, however many views,
and I won't
which is
do
ridiculous, because you can totally just pay for that. Like,
Oh, let's not get down that rabbit hole, Vanessa Joy.
Well, but it's silly to gauge it by that because you can just pay for vanity numbers. And
Yeah, we know people that do that.
I don't love it. I don't love it the other way when they're like, oh, we're going to, monitor how many people sign up through your link. I'm like, well, I'm also not the only person who's influencing buying decisions right now. I'm just exposing them to what you offer. So
well, there's things that are trackable, metrics. Like when I started with Squarespace, it was actual conversions. And when we converted a ton, I was converting at such high rates that people were like, that's unheard of. How are you doing this? Like, people think that a good conversion rate is like 1% to 2% to people to become a customer. I was converting at over 60% of the people that took a 14-day free trial were converting to paying Squarespace customers. Because it was the right product, the right market, the right marketing done by me, which was simple. This is easy. It's affordable. You don't need to know coding. You need your own website. Go try it for 14 days. It's at the time it was only $8 a month, and go from there. And that was, you could track the numbers. It was quantifiable. I like, sometimes affiliate deals are better. It's just quantifiable. You pay me when someone does something. And I just don't like the CPM, which is cost per thousand. For anybody out there doesn't understand, cost per thousand is CPM. That is, for every 1,000 views, they pay you $3.50. And it's just stupid. Which
is stupid.
It's not about views because you literally could be like, you can run up the views. There's ways to run ads, run a video as an ad, which will just run up views. You could be like, I want to pick India, where impressions cost you nothing. Now, I don't do that. Other YouTubers in the space do that, and I find it to be bullshit, especially if they're selling, if they're taking money to promote a product and they're using vanity numbers. And I'll just tell you people how you know this is if the comments don't exist. If a video has 500,000 views and it has 12 comments, you know it's bullshit. If the comments aren't following, it's bullshit.
Well, you know that it's been placed in an ad space, whatever it is. Right? Because that's the other problem is you could just generally, you know what, this video is doing well. Let me put some dollars behind it. But if you do it in a way where... If it's doing well,
you shouldn't have to put dollars behind it.
Right, but you get it to more eyes, just for argument's sake. But if you put it in front of people that aren't going to be able to understand it, like in another language, or if you put it in front of people as a skippable ad, it counts that 5 seconds as a view. That's not helping anybody.
Nope. So that's why I don't believe it. If a video is doing well, it gets out into the universe and keeps expanding and doing well. Putting more money behind it, you can look like YouTube and Facebook and Google. They'll all tell you pay this amount of money and you'll get an extra 1,000 views. Are you fucking kidding me? Talk about a waste of money. Why don't you just go set it on fire right now? Because an extra 1,000, if you're worried about 1,000 views, and I'm not downplaying anybody, if you get 1,000, if you're a new channel or a channel that's not even established, you've been doing it for a little bit, and you get 1,000 people, real people paying attention, that is worth money. That is great. So don't feel like 1,000 views isn't great, but I'm saying getting 1,000 fake views is not worth it.
Right, for sure. But if you target correctly and you get 1,000 views and I don't know, you spent $50 on the 1,000 views, and out of those 1,000 people, I don't know, 3 of them bought your $250 course, then...
If you can quantify that, yes, but that's
what
if you can track it.
Ads are for. You've done preset ads or something along those lines, I'm sure. Same kind of thing, but a little bit harder to track in a YouTube video if you're just pushing the YouTube video itself.
So we also we haven't run on a preset ad in 3+ years. I had someone testing presets ads in the past through Facebook. I mean, there was a time I spent $1,000 on Facebook ads and made $12,000 in return.
Those numbers used to exist. Now you barely meet what you're spending.
Oh yeah. So we spent 1,000, we made 12. Then we ramped up that ad because we're like, this is working, spent a bunch of money, and then it disappeared. And so it just stopped selling. And that's just the nature of that beast. So when we did preset ads, it in some ways, if you break even, it's a win. In some situations,
because you're growing your list, you're capturing an audience.
That's someone who's. But what we found is that it just wasn't worthwhile for the most part to do cold traffic. Cold traffic, for anybody out there doesn't understand, is traffic to someone who doesn't know you. They don't know you. So when they see you, you're just another schmuck pushing some bullshit. What I call lava leads are the people that have been around following our channels for years who are just like, oh, Vanessa put something new out. I'm going to go support that. That's a fucking lava lead. That's hot.
But you can target to a warm audience.
Yeah, you can.
You can do that too, you know.
But
why are we talking about this? What happened? This became because we're talking about. What were we talking about?
We were
Marketing
talking.
impressions.
Well, we're talking about the no film school guy, or the no film school, the guy doing a great job building his business and whatever. But we'll bring it back to the center. You know, I get targeting your own people. There's ways you can do it organically, and I just don't want to work super duper hard and worry so much about certain metrics and just go from there.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to have a business, then he's taking something also that I think is making him successful right now is he's taking something that's very trendy, and it's been trendy for the past 10 years, is bringing film back, but he's finding a way to pull instant gratification into the film era. And film is just, it's so trendy. I told you this morning, I posted a film shoot just this morning on Instagram. You can see film photos, and I do it every once in a while because I had a wedding client actually ask, can I photograph a film, or can you photograph film for the engagement session?
Did you ask why?
Did I ask why? Because she liked the aesthetic. She likes the look. It's nostalgic.
She fucking doesn't know what she's talking about.
That's not true.
No, you could get the look. Like, she wouldn't know the difference between a digital fucking photo and a film photo if you put them next to each other, and she would never know the difference because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
But she knows the experience, Jared, and that is the difference between serving consumers like I do and serving, brands. I am huge on the experience, and the experience of her saying, ooh, this was film, the experience of me going, hey, this is a great shot. Let me pull out my film camera and take it out. Like, that's great. And the experience of, I texted her some of these photos this morning because the film scans were done before everything else. And, surprise and delight by giving her some early photos too. The experience is everything. Everything.
Yeah, I get it. This brings us to trends, chasing trends. Trends come and go. And then there's those trendy wedding photographers who don't adapt, and they just do dumb shit like out of focus photos. Like, there were people that got big on, I do blurry photos. I'm so big right now. Yeah. What do you think of trends in this stupid industry? So
trends in the wedding space specifically are always going to come and go, right? Because there's a certain demographic between 25 and 32, and trends will come based usually on what that age group finds to be nostalgic, because that's why they like those blurry photos, the direct flash photos, the out of a the disposable camera photos, because that's what their childhood photos look like. That's a little bit of what the parents' photos look like that they look through. It's nostalgic. So it's really powerful. Is it, if you're a photography purist, is it the best photography? No.
I don't believe in photography purity, by the way.
Literally making shadows on the wall on purpose from vertical direct flash. That makes me cringe inside a little bit, just knowing photographically, how wrong it is. But I'm also happy that whatever my client throws at me, any type of photography, I'd be like, yeah, I could do that. That's
wedding
fine.
night photography?
Wedding? Yeah.
No, wedding night.
What about wedding night? After the wedding?
Yeah.
That's a different style of photography. It exists for sure.
Have you been asked to do wedding night photography?
Nope. Just boudoir.
Now, if they asked you, would you do wedding night photography?
No, I'm really tired by that point. I want to go home.
No. What if they paid you more money?
I still no.
What if it's 10 extra grand?
Still no. That's
really?
Not enough.
They can't pay you enough?
My average wedding client usually ends up being a $25,000 to $35,000+
Bragging.
Not bragging.
Someone's bragging.
Not bragging.
Show off.
Yeah, no.
I'm a real photographer.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how much I cost. It matters that I can make my clients happy.
Yeah,
so
you make your clients happy.
That kind of client says, you know what, I want film. I'm there for it.
What other shitty trends are out?
I actually had to borrow a film camera because I was shooting for Hilton in Orlando and flying straight to New York. So I didn't bring a film camera because they didn't ask me until the day before. So then I had to source a film camera from a friend of mine in New York and some film and make all that happen real fast. But I shot with the Canon AE1, so you can look at my photos. But the topic of this, though, too, was
I'm gonna look at your
just
photos.
because it's, go ahead, do it. It's the last one on Instagram. But just because it's film doesn't mean it's a good photo, which is the
I
point.
say that all the time.
Yeah. Well, the point of you talking about the expired film club guy. Are you going to judge my photos?
I'm about to judge you live. Well, I stopped using Instagram on my phone as of yesterday. I was on Instagram for 4 whole minutes in a day because usually it's like 2.5 hours of bullshit. So I stopped doing it. What am I looking
smart.
at? Oh, there's a picture of Vanessa holding a camera out in front of her using
No,
a
not
fucking...
the pinned, not the
okay.
pinned post. That's my
Oh my
branded.
God. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Vanessa. Let's read this. I'm unwell. Oh, that's a thing that a fucking 20-year-old would say. I hate that term.
I love that term. It makes me laugh.
I'm unwell. Film scans are back from Selin and Chris. Engagement photos. Just Celine. Just skull emoji over these. What the fuck? I'm dead? Fuck
Dead.
that. I texted them last night just to send a video of these and a few more. Absolutely cannot wait to show them the rest of their images so soon. Thanks again. First photo. Shutter speed's very slow and he's moving in for the kiss, so it's super grainy. This is underneath. This is
Bethesda fountain.
Yeah, that. Oh, that's horrible. She's tiny.
She's so sweet.
I like that.
She's so cute.
Nice dress. That's
Yeah.
the black. Oh God. Oh my fucking God. Guys, go look at Vanessa's post and then go look at this really terrible photo with a leaf coming out of the left-hand side where the guy's like kissing her hair. And I think the champagne glasses are in focus. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they are because I miss focus for sure.
That is unbelievable.
That manual focus on my 41-year-old eyes is not always perfect, but
Not
doesn't
even
matter.
close.
This is the aesthetic that they wanted.
I'm so happy with the out of focus photos. I'm unwell right now. I am about to go do Pilates, but I will totes show that no one says totes anymore. I will totally show these to all my girls and they are going to totally lose it. They're going to be so unwell by the time they're done looking at this that they're going to be just puddles. Puddles, I tell you.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening because I was reading all the nice comments from my clients, especially on that post.
Oh my God.
And that is the point. Because when it comes to wedding trends, like, do I look at some of those photos and I'm like, ugh, and it makes me like, photographically, it's not great. Yeah, but I know how to make my clients happy and I know how to give them what they want. That being said, they're going to get another 150 photos from that session that are perfectly clinically clean and crisp and whatever. But they get these additional that have that aesthetic that they love.
I'm unwell right now. I am fucking unwell right now. Why is there tape over the viewfinder? Why did you tape over the Canon?
It's my friend Paul's. It says he tapes over logos.
That's stupid.
He
Paul,
has
that's
a film
stupid.
photography collection. He's not stupid.
No, I said that's stupid. I didn't say Paul's stupid. I said that's stupid.
He doesn't want to promote the brands, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
I've
whatever.
never asked actual reasoning for it.
Vanessa, I'm unwell after looking at your photos because I'm about to throw up for their lack of goodness for being in focus and shit.
They are good. The
Yeah.
ones I wanted to be in focus are in focus.
Yeah, your clients are so happy. Oh, I could imagine just like, oh my God, look at this. We're in a boat. I can't see that we're in a boat. There's a leaf sticking out of the left side. The glasses of champagne are in focus. This is so memorable. Out of focus. Amazing. What?
And this is the difference between being a real photographer that serves clients.
Yeah.
And that's how I pay my bills.
Do you know who I serve,
versus
Vanessa?
one that doesn't.
You know who I serve?
You're very egocentric.
My
Just you.
YouTube followers. No, I serve myself first. Because it's about me. And then them.
Tell me more about
look,
your
I
narcissistic tendencies.
They're not tendencies, they're facts. I love creating. What makes me happy is going out and shooting. What is more difficult these days is going out and creating, but also creating to share for other people to learn from and see. It's not a show-off thing to be like, I'm on the field shooting Shohei Ohtani. That's not a show-off thing. It's more of a teaching thing. Like, look what I'm doing, and here's how you can do it as well. So there's that. But the difficult thing as a creator, I'm a photographer who so happens to make YouTube videos, is how I define myself when someone asks. I'm a photographer who creates YouTube videos. I make a living by doing that, so I don't have to work for anybody else because I will not be beholden to their expectations. So I don't have to take someone else's job because I don't like working for other people. I just don't like it. So the rub is, how do we still shoot for the love of what we do, make money from that, but also think about turning it into content, which I'm trying not to do everything that way, because I just stopped wanting to look at Instagram because it's a problem to have it for 2.5+ hours a day, where every time you pick up your phone, you got to check Instagram.
Scroll.
Right.
You know that doom scroll.
Yeah. So yesterday, 4 minutes. It was 4 minutes. That's it.
Good.
And it was just a matter of, because I checked messages once, and that was about it. I didn't get sucked into stories. I didn't get sucked into just swiping, and that was that. Anyway, enough about me, Vanessa. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Well, I like that you said, you're a photographer that creates YouTube videos and creates content. And my mindset is similar, but slightly different, where I'm a photographer first that runs a business serving consumers, and then I'm a YouTuber. So anything that I post content-wise is always primarily, not always, but primarily what I'm actually doing in my business, because I like photography, but I actually love business. So I always wanted to make sure I stayed relevant so that I can teach photography business. I can teach trends that are happening right now and comment on them or not, because I know what my clients and I know what that culture is looking for right now.
I hate that young culture. What else is hot right now? What else is trendy, Vanessa? What else is trendy at a wedding?
I think we went over all of it.
Oh,
as far as photography goes.
Using shitty cameras.
Instax,
you know what needs to stop? You know what needs to stop? Photo booths are fine. Do you know what needs to stop? This idea and what was that?
360 booths.
Oh, well,
like
that's
the
stupid.
360.
That's fine. Whatever. No, that's fine. I don't care. That's cool. What needs to stop is this idea that disposable cameras need to be out on tables. That didn't work in the 90s and the 2000s. It's not going to work again. If you want a bunch of dick pics in the bathroom, look at a disposable camera. And none of the pictures turn out. You are better off putting a digital camera on a table if you really want people to mess around. Put digitals out and just say, take a bunch of pictures and we'll get the card. But doing something like, do you want to know a trend? You want to know what Steven did at his wedding?
Sure.
He had a phone, and people could leave a message on the phone for him.
It's super cute. I see that. But you know what the problem is, though, with all this is, so you're talking about the disposable cameras, and all I can think in my head is the last time I saw some reel or TikTok about how, this is why you should have disposable cameras. And then, it's a video of them smiling with their disposable cameras, and then they show, 10 great pictures, which is probably out of, the 400 pictures that were taken.
Yeah, and you spent $20 a camera to develop.
The point is that so many couples, and this is a problem I face, it's a problem I think a lot of portrait photographers face, is they look at all these styled shoots or over glorified results, and everybody wants it at their portrait shoot, at their wedding. And it's awful because it's setting unrealistic expectations, and then also putting the focus. Sometimes I have clients that their focus is on that kind of thing and not about the fact that they're getting married. And it's just that.
So it's a show-off thing. Look at me. Look at me. That's the show-off generation. They shouldn't even be called generation, whatever the hell they're called. Not even millennials, but Xennials. It's all about, look at me. Share it with everybody else instead of worrying about being in the moment. Mm-hmm. So it's a dynamic that we all have to deal with going forward. We all have to deal with it personally. How much do we want to share? And where's our life better? I find when you're not on social media, just looking at every fucking thing all day, you feel much better. And because if you are looking at every political rant and the left, the right, the middle, the bullshit, what do you believe? It's just too much bullshit. Stop following it. And that's tough to say as a social media person like me who makes a living online. But you know what? Stop following the shit that pisses you off. If shit pisses you off, stop following it. And that's what I did
Yeah.
during the pandemic. There were people that I liked, but I hated their content. And I'm like, I don't want to
just mute them. Mute them. You don't have to see it.
Well, yeah, I do that. And then then I started unfollowing. But yes, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings or something.
Oh, I got called out on because at one point I was just having comparison issues and I unfollowed every single photographer, every single one of them. And I had multiple people that are like, oh my God, are we not friends anymore? I saw you unfollowed me because people keep track of that. I don't know how people keep track of it. Oh my God.
I don't know either. Well, when they don't have 270,000 people, on their Instagram, they can keep track of that shit.
Yeah. But I had to apologize to people and they understood when I told them, but still mute people. It's easier.
So we're basically going to wrap up 124 here, but Vanessa and I are going to strap on microphones to our chests a little into Kenya, because instead of me trying to call home and do a podcast with Steven, which we did last year, but was difficult being halfway around the world with the lag time, Vanessa and I are going to share our experiences from the safari, from Kenya, from the tent. You and we're going to do podcasty McPotterkisson there when we get at some point.
That's going to be fun.
It should be fun. Now go check on your medication.
I'll check on my malaria.
That you shouldn't be taking it weeks in advance that I know of. And that's going to be it. I thank you for coming on. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Thanks for having me.
Okay. You're welcome. Guys, this is episode 124. Thank you very much for listening. Steven will be back at some point. JaredPolinFrontosphoto.com. See ya.